Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today with Francesco. Ciao Fra, how are you?
Ciao Fabio, good.
Ready to go because we have to answer several questions. It's 4 weeks to go to the end of the summer transfer window. It's going to be crazy busy, so get ready here on the channel, subscribe, send in your comments. August is going to be absolutely mad, and so we are here to answer several of your questions. A top-rated clinic with over 20 years of experience, trusted by more than 7,500 patients from the UK. Antlara has been a champion in dentistry for over 20 years consistently. Team of specialists and a fully equipped in-house laboratory, every treatment is carried out with precision and efficiency. With the London office, after care support in London and clinics in Turkey and Belgium, your journey continues smoothly even after you return home. From airport pickup to hotel and clinic transfers, everything is taken care of. No language barriers, no pressure, no upselling, just honest, transparent care. And right now, you can get an exclusive discount on your treatment. Click link below to receive your personalized plan.
Yes, and let's start with something that just was announced because Mauricio Pochettino stays at the US national team and will sign a new contract until 2030.
Yeah, and it's a news we expected. Pochettino is staying with the US men's national team. It's part of this manager's domino, as usual, after the World Cups. There is always a lot of movement among the biggest national teams, and not only. So there is always many things happening. We told you about Roberto Mancini and Italy. We told you about Jurgen Klopp in Germany, Zinedine Zidane in France, Jorge Jesus in Portugal. So many things are changing in terms of coaches. And now also Mauricio Pochettino, who decides to stay, who decides to continue, contract until 2030. So he will lead the US men's national team also into the World Cup 2030, and it's going to be an exciting project because they did very well at the last World Cup, and so Pochettino stays.
Today again many questions on Ferran Torres and his future.
Yeah, on Ferran Torres today, what we have to add to the story is that for the first time we have an official wording coming from Barcelona. Hansi Flick speaking today, and he said about the striker situation, I have confidence in Deco. We know we have to do something, we have to be patient. Next week will be busy, so Hansi Flick is sharing this feeling around Barcelona that something will happen up front. And then when asked about Ferran Torres, he said, we will see, because the situation with the striker depends also on Ferran. So Hansi Flick is not going and speaking and saying Ferran is staying here, is going nowhere. Because the reality is that Barcelona, as I keep saying for days, Barcelona would love to keep Ferran Torres. Barcelona don't consider Ferran Torres a player for sale, so the doors for an exit are closed. But if Ferran Torres goes to Barcelona this week, next week, whenever, obviously not too late, and tells Barcelona, I want to go to Paris Saint-Germain, let me go to Paris Saint-Germain, in that case, Barcelona will open doors to an exit and will negotiate a transfer fee. Then you still have to reach an agreement financially between the two clubs, of course, but this Ferran Torres story depends on the player. Paris Saint-Germain want Ferran Torres. Paris Saint-Germain are talking with the agents of Ferran Torres. He's one of 3 names on the short list, so the conversation is absolutely ongoing and underway between PSG and Ferran, but again, has to be the player to decide. Because Barcelona have no intention to let him go, Barcelona have the intention to continue with Ferran and eventually proceed also with Ferran Torres' a new contract from September to open negotiations and to discuss over longer deal, but at this stage it depends on the player, and these agents are talking on daily basis with Paris Saint-Germain, so there is absolutely something concrete in there. Let's see what Ferran decides to do in the next days.
Speaking of Paris Saint-Germain, what about the future of Bradley Barcola, player you always mentioned might be in the radar of other, especially English clubs this summer?
Yeah, a story we've been reporting here on the channel for some time, and the update I can give you today is that Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain are now in official club-to-club talks. So the official conversations, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain for Bradley Barcola have started, including the indication from Liverpool to Paris Saint-Germain of the intention to bid for Bradley Barcola. So Paris Saint-Germain are aware of everything. Paris Saint-Germain are informed directly by Liverpool. As I mentioned, the relationship is good between the two clubs. The initial indications from Liverpool are far away from the bid Paris Saint-Germain expected. So this is why I keep saying Barcola to PSG, to Liverpool from PSG is not a imminent here we go. It's not today or tomorrow. Because in terms of financials, in terms of numbers, they are still far away after these first official talks. but the conversations will continue because Liverpool want Barcola, because Barcola loves the idea of joining Liverpool. As I mentioned, personal terms will not be an issue. The player is super tempted by the project. So this deal is ongoing. Liverpool, Barcola, talks ongoing with Paris Saint-Germain, and we wait to see if and when they can reach a financial agreement on the transfer fee. But the Barcola deal is absolutely on.
Speaking on another big story of the summer, Bruno Guimaraes and all the talks that are happening, what's the latest that you can provide to us?
Yeah, I mean, recently I would say in general in the transfer market, in terms of brief, we are seeing several things, and it's part of the game. I respect that. When there is a director talking, a club briefing something, it's part of the game. They obviously want to control the narrative, and I absolutely understand that. But I can guarantee that Newcastle and Arsenal have been in talks for Bruno Guimaraes for some time. It's not starting today. They already had several conversations. Then obviously the agents of the player are facilitating these conversations at some point, but for sure Arsenal and Newcastle remain in direct contact for Bruno Guimaraes. I maintain what I said over the weekend. Total confidence from Arsenal to sign Bruno Guimaraes. The deal is very close. Newcastle already started to work on replacement involving also the new coach, Matthias Gisle, in these conversations. So Matthias Gisle is already talking to Newcastle directors to indicate which player could be the right player to replace Bruno Guimaraes, because they know that this deal with Arsenal is very close. Then we still have to wait for the final steps, for the final agreement, and for the here we go. Could be any moment, because this conversation is really at the final stages. Arsenal are very confident on this one, and so Bruno Guimaraes, who has an agreement on personal terms with Arsenal, it's been the case for a few weeks, and so Bruno is only waiting for the transfer to happen. But we had several reports on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, deal done, deal closed, the medical on Monday. That's still not the case, but the deal is at very advanced stages, and it's not starting the negotiation today, I can guarantee that.
There were some rumors in the last days about Kevin De Bruyne and the possibility to join Inter Miami. We know Inter Miami just unveiled basically last week Casemiro's new signing. So is that something that can potentially happen or is not happening?
Yeah, I wanted to clarify something on this one because we are getting many questions, obviously. It's Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best in the world, and then Inter Miami always with an exciting project. But my understanding on this one is that there is absolutely nothing between Kevin De Bruyne and Inter Miami. No interest, no negotiations, no conversations, apart from the appreciation they can obviously have for a fantastic player like De Bruyne. There is nothing underway between Inter Miami and Kevin De Bruyne, also because in midfield they already did several things over the recent months and years. As you mentioned, Casemiro already made his debut, and then there is Rodrigo De Paul. They have several players in that position, and also obviously they are completely different from Kevin De Bruyne, but in terms of also of spots in the squad is not something they're looking at. They also were linked with a move for the Colombian former Liverpool Plate player Juanfer Quintero as a possibility to join Inter Miami, but also in this case I'm told it's not true. Inter Miami are quite happy with the squad they have. They could make some additions over the next weeks. In the MLS it's been I would say busy this summer with the arrivals of some superstars like Robert Lewandowski, but at the moment the understanding is that with Inter Miami and De Bruyne there is nothing, and now it's going to be on Napoli and Kevin De Bruyne to continue their conversations and try to continue together after a difficult first season with an injury, after complicated situations, and now is going to be time for Napoli and De Bruyne to try continue this chapter together.
Fabri, I don't know if you have other things happening that we can tell right now, otherwise we close it here for today.
Attentive to the situation of Cuti Romero, the Argentinian defender, because Inter are on it. There are more clubs keen, so I think there could be movement around Cuti Romero in the next days, eventually weeks, but for sure around Cuti Romero there is movement, and I still expect him to leave Tottenham in this summer transfer window. So I think we said it all. Guys, thanks as always for being part of this video, and remember to like this video, to turn on the notification bell, to subscribe to the channel, and we see you soon. Thank you.